That's right, we are going to make a cluster village for rent. Hopefully it will work, so cross your fingers. I started with Tiny Glade. It's easier to make buildings there, and I feel like my imagination just flows better while playing. I only have pictures and the final result because my intentions weren't to record, but I thought, would it be possible to recreate this on The Sims 4? If you see me playing The Sims, know that I sailed through Caribbean seas for it. To begin with the building, I made a few tests to be sure about what I could do or not. The building won't be a carbon copy of it, but it will be similar in some way. I also forgot the walls have size limit. Yeah, I have been playing Tiny Glade a lot, blame me. So here you can see me pondering if I should make the building smaller or keep empty lots below the living ones. But I ended up choosing to keep the empty floors as it would be giving a feeling of extra fake houses. I chose a rustic style for the window and door. These will be the ones I'll be using for the whole building, because I want to make it as if it was a single house or construction. I tried to make a bay window just like the pictures and add a large window, but I didn't like the square shape, so I tried to go with a more diagonal style. I was inspired to make this village from this picture I found on Pinterest. You can see that it looked like a sort of extension from the house, but I wanted to turn it into a nook or something like that. This part was funny. I was going to build the porch here, but I had simply forgot how to add fences. So I added walls and tried to apply the fence to it. Then I suddenly remember how it's done. It was actually very funny because even though I had to play The Sims not long ago, I did play Tiny Glade recently and the building mode just got mixed up. Now it was time to build the second house. I made the same way as before, empty blocks on top of each other and then the actual house. I went back to add the roof on the top of the porch. I tried to use a normal roof, but I wasn't really enjoying it, so I used the tile roofing and I thought it looked cool. Okay, this was the hardest part of the whole building, the stairs. I didn't even think about it when I started to build the village. It didn't even cross my mind, but oh boy, did I spend time here. I could simply let the stairs floating, but it just felt so wrong. The first issue was with what to build the stairs on, walls or platforms. So I went to the corner and started testing out stuff. It did work with platforms, it was perfect. But the problem was the height limit. Yeah, so I added a platform on top of a wall and another one below, kind of mixing wall and platforms. It was working, but the adult in me was thinking, oh, how tiring would it be to go up and down the stairs? And the kid in me only thought, my Sims will take forever to walk this. So unanimously, I decided to shorten it. The second issue was the handrail, as it was missing some spots and I couldn't know why. I proceeded to work on other stuff to not lose my mind. I added a door and windows to the third apartment and the tile roof the same way as the previous one. A problem with the stairs was the platform versus wall texture. I wanted to give a more sandstone look just like the pictures, but I wasn't able to find a texture similar to the platform one. This was driving me crazy. I finally was able to find a similar texture for the stairs, a gray stone one. So I went with it. I used the same textures to the bottom buildings and a sand painting to the upper ones. The building was finally coming together. Well, here we are again, my old friend. Handrail changed to a wood type, just like the porch style. Even though I originally wanted something similar to the Tiny Glade one, I just had to accept that everything in life. The walls had a similar texture but slightly lighter than the platform ones, so I would have to cover that in the future. I also took the opportunity to add a stair and handrail to the floor house, which I think it looked pretty cute. It was time to add the other side of the village, where it would handle two houses. Same thing, blocks of walls on top of each other. Here I added a porch that also worked as a corridor, and the same process as the other. The roof part was a little tricky to me because I didn't know how to avoid the roof entering the top floor. So I spent a lot of time here, but I later realized that the roof gets cut to avoid that automatically. Anyway, I work on the corridor to then start with the second stair. At this moment, I was already an experienced person, so I just repeated the process. And right here, I realized how I could feel underneath each stairs with the vents. I just had to delete the under part of it. So I went and fixed all of them. I completed the last house by adding a porch to it. I like the way it looked on Tiny Glade, but it didn't look quite fancy here. Now, this was the most satisfying part of the whole thing. As you can see here, the ground is round and connects to both stairs. I really enjoyed how it turned out, so I wanted to try the same on The Sims. I thought it would look quite pointy and weird, but it turned out pretty great. Look at this, it's so cute. To complete the fake houses, I added windows to it, and that definitely helped the village look even better. The bright color of the buildings were not enough for me, so I chose a darker and saturated one. Same thing with the ground texture. Now, this is what I'm talking about. A nice touch to the place was adding trees around. It definitely gave a nicer look. So it was time to cover the separation between the textures like I said before. I used these vines and it actually worked pretty well with only a few of them. I brought some vases to add to the windows. I really wanted to make this building full of plants. Look at this lightning, it's so beautiful already. I continued to add more decoration to the outside, and little by little it started to feel like a place where people actually live. People who might enjoy sitting outside to read a book, neighbors talking to each other, kids play around. And an even better touch was these number plates that I found, and I added to each house. It was like the icing of the cake. I think that living in a place like this as a child would have been so nice. I can see them playing around here each evening. It's just a good place, let's be honest, unless you have a knee problem. I was going to make this room like a fake deposit, but I thought about making a sort of bar slash gym slash toilet. So our Sims could also enjoy something close to their house without having to go somewhere else. I made it very simple, as if it was an actual deposit that turned into a community space, or maybe because I was lazy. Okay, let's get into business. It's decoration time, yay. Usually I am more into this than actually building, but this village just drained all of me and I was really tired to do more, so I was a bit tired here. The first apartment was one room only, so I kept things pretty simple. As I said, even a small room was getting the most of me, but I kept testing things out until I thought it was good. I ended up deciding to add a platform to the bed, and I honestly think it looked good. Now let's get to the second apartment, my favorite child. I really enjoyed this one because of the bay window, so I was thinking to play with my Sims here in this house since the beginning. So I poured my tired heart on this one. But to be honest, I didn't have a plan, as I usually never do. So it was about testing things out again. I wanted to make this as a nook, but my brain wasn't braining, so I added 2 chairs. I started to make the kitchen when I suddenly remember I didn't add stairs. Luckily, there weren't progress to lose and the stairs actually look cute here. I try to make every functional furniture accessible, so I had to test out sometimes. It turned out so cute and cozy. And on to the second floor. At this moment, I was extremely tired because I was working on the previous apartment and building. Yes, I don't know how to stop. Well, I actually do. It's when I realize that I haven't eaten in hours. I get extreme hyper focus. Okay, I forgot about the bathrooms. Honestly, no surprise I was enjoying to decorate. I'm not a fan of bathrooms, no offense. So I went back to the first apartment to add one and added one on the top of the other house. All of the other apartments follow a similar decoration and color style, so there are only variations of it. It took me 6 hours to build this. It's not a lot compared to other building videos, but I never did a house so big like this, so take it easy. Even though I used a similar style, I was able to add to each house its own essence, and I think that was a fun part of it. Like, how many possibilities do we have here? The only thing that I had to change were the desks. They were small, so they couldn't handle a laptop and a table lamp at the same time. So I changed to only have laptops there. Finally, it's test time. Our friend here, Bill, tested every apartment to see if everything was working fine. And I mean everything, even the stairs. And it worked pretty well. It didn't took Bill so long to go up or down. I haven't played the rent pack until now, so I did some research and read that I needed to separate the lots in order to rent them. I also added the lot perks to each one, so everything was fine until bugs. Bill and his wife were the owners of the building, the landlords, but the game wasn't recognizing them as so no matter what I did. I searched this bug and there were a lot of people who had it. I could leave it this way, but I wasn't going to be able to maintain anything in the lot, like the generators, and I wouldn't be able to change the rent type. I will basically play as a tenant, not a landlord at all. So I sold the building and made them tenants. I have to admit that for a brief moment, I got excited to play The Sims 4 with the rent and life to death pack. But that feeling went right away with so many bugs that I faced and lack of gameplay. But that's for another video. I tried. EA, I truly did. Okay, so let's play as tenant. I added neighbors to the other houses and they came to offer me that stupid fruitcake. Bill let them all in to know each other. And after that, he left the building and went to visit his neighbor. And then the loading screen appeared to load the other house, so I left the game because the audacity. This is a rent lot on The Sims 2. Watch this, my sim lives in the same lot and is visiting her neighbor. Oh my god, the house just loads without a damn load screen.